Hello and welcome back to the instructional video for YouTube. It's taken me a while, as you can tell, because now I have a baby and she's really cute, and this is Kylie. And so I'm going to start out this instructional video, which will be, by the way, the last installment of the time signature videos, and then I'm going to get started on some other topics like chord progressions, musicality, and musicianship, stuff like that. And if you got any topics that you'd like to see, please let me know and we'll work on it. So for the first part of this, I would like to have Kylie demonstrate a really complex rhythm pattern to start out the video. Go ahead. I've got to keep practicing. Okay, so to begin our lesson today, I'm going to start out by showing you all the equipment so that you know how we're doing what we're doing, and you know, you can get some ideas for maybe how you can use some of the equipment that you have. So Kylie and I are going to show you around. So for starters, I've got half music practice studio and half toy wonderland here. Works out well. Okay, so for the guitars, we have a Martin backpacker, which I got for when I'm traveling, makes it nice and easy. We have the good old Gibson Explorer 76 reissue. We have a Ernie Ball bongo bass. And then we have a custom handmade guitar from a local luthier in Las Vegas, which I mentioned in one of my other videos. For amplification, we've got the Mesa Boogie Maverick dual rectifier, and I'm using the Boss GT8 as an effects processor. And then, of course, there's the drum set, which I have Zildjian cymbals and a Pearl snare drum, and an off-brand set of bass drum and toms, Pearl pedal, and all that stuff. Over here for the recording process, I'm using a Mac obviously, and I've got Logic Studio running and an Imadia 88 key workstation, and that's how I'll be making all the music magic there. So without further ado, let's get started. And what we're going to do today is we're going to wrap up everything and kind of tie it all together and put a neat little bow on it. We'll also talk about polyrhythms, and I might touch 12/8 a little bit just to kind of give a feel there. But the goal in all of this, when you go back and watch these videos, is not so that you can go like, oh, this is how 5/8 sounds, so I'm going to play it like that every time. The idea is that you take these and take it into your own songwriting and make it your own so that you can use it in a creative way. So you don't have to make a whole song in 5, and on the flip side, you can make a whole song in 5, and either way it can be really creative and fun. So for polyrhythms, let's start off with that. I'm going to do a really kind of, it's not simple if you've never done it before, but I'm going to do a really basic drill that's a very simple polyrhythm. Poly means many, rhythm, so many rhythms. So all that's going on is two rhythms or two time signatures going on at the same time. That's all that's talking about. So a lot of times when people say polyrhythms, they're talking about some big tool, you know, like 7/8 over top of a 5 or something, and it's like, yeah, okay, yes, that is an impressive polyrhythm, but you don't have to do that. You can start out with something simple like this. So I'm going to play it first on the snare drum, and then I'll break it apart so that you can hear what's actually going on, okay? Okay, so now those of you who are listening are going, oh, that's easy, that's not a polyrhythm. So let me split it apart now with the two hands, and I'll show you what's really going on here. So I'm going to play my left hand on the hi-hat and right hand on the ride so you can hear each part of it. Now there it sounds a little bit different. You can hear that each hand is doing something different. So what's going on is this hand is playing in 6/8 and this hand is playing in 4/4. They're over top of each other. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So then together again now, knowing that, back on the snare. So when you play that, make sure you don't go, because that's not what it is. It's a polyrhythm with both of your hands doing. Okay, so this little polyrhythm, what it does is it does a couple things. Number one, it gets you playing a polyrhythm, obviously. Number two, it gets your brain and your body in the concept of being independent, which is something you really want as a drummer, especially. So if you're kind of dabbling in drums, or wanting to get better at drums or whatever, this is something that'll help. That's something that every drummer wants, is independence between all your limbs. You want them to be able to do whatever you want them to do without being attached, so to speak, so that you're not like stuck trying to get your right hand and your right foot to do something different. Okay, so now let's take this and apply it in a polyrhythmic drum pattern. So I'm going to play a 6/8 drum beat, like so, and I'm going to use that pattern that I just did to really accent a polyrhythm. And then also what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to play another 4/4 beat with the china that you'll hear accented. So you should hear all of these things going on together, so listen for it. Alright, so here we go, first example. Okay, so you can hear how there's a couple different things going on there. There's the left hand, just like I was doing in that drill, and then over here, all I'm doing is I'm going back and forth between the right and the china, and the china really accents this offbeat 4/4 rhythm as well. So if I was counting that, let's take just this side. If I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The other rhythm that's going on at the same time, obviously, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are the two rhythms that are going on at the same time, thus polyrhythm. Now again, to go back to what we said earlier, you can put all these crazy weird time signatures and be really funky, and that's great, and kudos to you if you're doing that as well. I just wanted to start with something basic so you can get the idea and hear kind of what to do. And if you take that same concept, by the way, that's what I've showed in some of the other videos. Like, let's say that I'm playing in 5, so I'm going to go. So same thing, that's just in 5. So you can still do this in odd time signatures, and you get the flip-flop beats and everything like that. So this is something really good to work on, and you can use it in your playing and in your songwriting. Also, for those of you who do music electronically on your computer, you can apply the same concept as long as you know where to put bass, snare, hi-hat, ride, and cymbals and stuff like that. If you're making like a techno beat or you know, whatever, composing on your computer and doing it via keyboard or something, use the same principle. All you're doing is just you're going to tap out the beat and put the ride and the hi-hat wherever you want to accent those polyrhythmic patterns. Okay, so from here we're going to go on to an example. I've got a little tune that I've composed here to show you some polyrhythms going on with a song, and also it's going to have a little odd time signature thrown in there. And this gets us to musicianship principles. The goal in all of this, I mean, so if you're in a band where you want to be super freaking technical and just go all over the place, that's one thing, and you can do that, and that's great, and for the genre of music, that'll set you apart. Also, you can use it if you're just a singer-songwriter to really spice up and accent certain parts of your song. You can sing over odd time signatures, it's not a foreign concept. And so you want to use these things musically, and what I mean by that is you're not just doing it just to be technical and show off, but you're doing it because it fits the song and because it brings it to life. So I've composed a little tune here, and it's in kind of 6/8. I don't know. It's 2 measures of 6/8, and then a measure of 6/8 and a measure of 5. So you could call it 23/8 if you wanted to, but that's kind of ridiculous. So just check it out and listen to it. And I'm going to play some of those polyrhythms on the drum set as well, and play a couple of guitar lines that will sort of really emphasize some off-kilter beats. So hope you like it.